Welcome back to the back nine, the final nine here. It's round 5 of the 2022 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships. Grant Zellner and Sayananda here from Southern Indiana. Special thanks, by the way, to producers Ace Run Pro for bringing us this coverage of this PDGA major. Sai, just 9 holes to go.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how this finishes with how tight the scores are and with how well these players are getting through the course so far.
Yeah, nobody really able to separate themselves during that opening 9 of this final round. It's hot, not too terribly windy, which is a surprise as we launch into the back 9.
We've got a par 3 here for hole 10 at 327 feet, playing just past these 3 or 4 guardian trees here and dipping down.
Yeah, one of those trees over at the extreme right is a mandatory, so players having to play around to the left of it. There is out of bounds far to the left, and Shiru taking on that Mando. We'll have to see if that disc crossed over the Mando line or not here in just a moment.
Jordan looks like a good opportunity for a forehand here. Keeps it nice and low.
This is Cadence Burge.
Dropping down. Oh, just getting a little bit of that snag from those trees. We'll see what kind of look she has from there. Another forehand.
And
making it just past.
Looks like Shiru did miss the mandatory. Takes the penalty stroke, and that for par. She'll have that little comebacker to save a bogey. Here's Cadence Burge.
Oh my. Well, that certainly looked closer from the previous perspective, but a great approach. Morgan putting it right under the pin.
And Jordan off the edge of the basket. That was an excellent effort. Shiru does manage to save the bogey.
Cadence with a nice tap in par.
Jordan in to save the par.
A little bit of a check-in here with our scores. Jordan still with a nice 2-stroke lead. Cadence and Morgan following shortly after. Hole 11, we've got a par 3 at just 262 feet, playing over some of these rolling hills here.
Pretty straightforward hole here with out of bounds to the left. All of the rough is out of bounds. This hole playing to a perfectly even par average, so we will see how this lead card manages to potentially take advantage of this opportunity. Jordan starting things off, getting around that little sort of peninsula of rough there and safely up in the area of circle 1.
Ooh, Cadence trying to take it out wide, it looks like, but flipping it just a little bit more than I think she wanted. chasing it down there. Just making it into that bailout zone you were mentioning before as well.
And we've got Shiru heading a little bit over there to the right, but managing to fade back in toward the basket.
That is some sticky grass for sure. Interesting look for Cadence here.
Yeah, fortunate to be in bounds over there.
Little bit of a life there, but puts it right under the pin.
Shiru's on a similar line, but a little bit closer.
Gives it the height it needs. But just a little bit too high.
Strong effort there from Jordan.
Yep, it looks like she was really trying to go for that one. Another nice, solid step-through putt.
Big time putt from Morgan there. Shiru in to save par. Par saving effort from Jordan.
And a par for Cadence.
Well, the 11th averaged even par for the tournament, or at least for this final round.
Moving on to hole number 12, we've got a par 3 at 356 feet here. Playing a little bit challenging uphill.
Yeah, an interesting score separator here at the 12th, because while the hole averaged nearly a half stroke above par, it also gave up some birdies. So we're going to see how it might shake things up here in our final round lead card.
Interesting. Jordan with the box here.
Turning that toward the cart path, but a nice neutral flight there brings it back away from the out of bounds.
Trusting that disc.
Everything on the right-hand half of your screen is out of bounds.
Cadence with a great pop-up hyzer there.
Oh, catches the one and only tree that would keep that disc from mirroring the hillside and trundling right down toward the basket.
Morgan with the forehand here, playing it more towards the left side of the basket and getting some good distance.
Not very close to the basket, but definitely safe. And here's Shiru.
Risky business here, but trusting that disc to come through and getting some great forward progress. Cadence definitely giving it some air there, coming up just shy and right next to the pin. Morgan with a nice downhill approach here. Definitely tricky as you play downhill with that distance.
Leaves herself about a 12 to 15 footer there.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to air it too long with the OB. I could see it, catching some air and playing with that sidewalk there, but coming up short's definitely not a good feeling either.
Yeah, Jordan does just that. Little soft on that approach.
Shiru with a great drive.
Little 40, 45 foot look here.
Giving it some air. Ooh, just over the basket.
Good effort. It was downhill, though, after the basket for her, so now a long comebacker to save par. Just under the band. Woo.
That's a really, really great putt to make as we're running out of holes here on the back nine. Jordan coming up just short. Morgan making it in.
Saving that par, picking up a stroke on her sister.
And Cadence putting it in for par as well. Jordan with bogey.
So with that bogey, things tight at the top. Just one stroke separating our top three players. Shiru just 2 strokes behind.
On to hole 13, par 3, 312 feet. We've got another bit of bushes kind of separating, if you remember a few holes back.
Yep, all of that playing out of bounds. Also the cart path off to the right playing out of bounds. Basket decidedly uphill from the tee, and much like the 12th, this a bit of a score separator. Lots of bogeys and even some double bogeys, but it did give up some birdies as well.
Cadence with the box here, lining up her shot. Looks like she's just playing a safe layup here for this one, not going too risky.
Indeed she is.
Interesting to see that strategy. I appreciate her kind of, sticking with her game. Another layup as well. Looks like this might be a good play, just not...
Ooh, needed that to sit. Looks safe to me from here. We'll get a double check.
Yeah.
Shiru with her distance, I'm guessing, is going to go for this as she did earlier in the tournament.
Oh, yeah. That looks like a great line so far. Oh, ooh.
Trundling right up and just inbounds there on the good side of that car path. What a well-executed shot for Shiru.
I absolutely love to see it here on the final 9. Most players here on the card, 3 out of 4, just deciding not to mess around with that line of bushy OB there.
This isn't going to be an easy upshot, though.
No, laying up definitely provides its own difficulties, even though you are avoiding, a major one.
Jordan needs that to hurry.
Airing a little bit.
Just clears the out of bounds.
That's going to be a tough putt, though, with that OB just long of the basket. Cadence executing well.
Good job there.
with the closest look here. Also putting it up just within the circle there.
So here's Shiru's opportunity to pick up a stroke on the card. Just a little bit short there.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this, you've got a sheer drop off from that perspective. That's definitely a confidence testing putt for sure. Jordan making it in for par.
That was a big putt right there.
Mm-hmm. Another great par for Morgan. Par's really meaning a lot here as we're coming down the final stretch. Morgan definitely not, or my apologies, Cadence definitely not taking this putt for granted, taking her time. Pars all around. Jordan still maintaining with that one stroke here. But I'm sure she's feeling just a little bit of the pressure. Moving on to hole 14, we've got a par 4 at 724 feet. Really stretching it out on hole 14 for these players here.
Got a Mando over there defining the inside edge of this left-hand dog leg. Got to go around to the right and then up and over a lot of topography to get to this basket location.
Yep, we've got a consistent theme of that final guardian tree just guarding the basket. Cadence taking the tee.
Safely out to the right, but will leave a much lengthier distance from there to the basket.
Yep, more distance, even though she has a slightly more open angle, I'd imagine. Forehand for Morgan here. Shiru taking it just a little bit low, but we've definitely seen she's got the power here.
Yeah, we'll be able to get out and around the Mando from there.
Jordan taking it out wide. Got Morgan up first to approach. Trying to shape a forehand out there.
You can see from the length of the second shot here how difficult it would be to have any kind of a legitimate birdie look here at the 14th. So everybody really playing to avoid bogey.
Yeah. With these rolling hills, definitely playing as a challenge from your second shot. Try to manage over those while still executing some distance at the same time. Shiru just putting all she's got into this one.
Yep, it gets it sort of chopped off there by that hill, just sort of comes up and eats the disc up, so.
Yeah, without that hill, it definitely still had some flight into it, but those rolling hills are playing is really challenging. Cadence putting all she's got into this one as well. It looks like she might have a great straight shot at the basket from there, but we'll see.
There's the basket up there on the horizon just in front of the white building with
Finally,
the garage door shut. Yep, there it is.
Morgan getting
Still
it up
outside.
near the basket,
Yeah, still outside the circle, though, for a par look.
Jordan trying to get it up above this hill, and she does, but still leaves bit of distance to the basket. And as we can see, Cadence does have a nice straight shot here.
Asking that to get up just a little bit. It listens. Well placed there to about 20 feet or so.
Yeah, well said. Her placement has definitely given her just a slight advantage on this hole. Shiru leaving herself a little bit of distance as well. We've got Jordan up first to see what she can make happen here.
This is for par.
High and right, but just not quite making the contact. Not a bad miss with that road behind, though. Ooh. Another step through for Morgan, just making a little contact with the basket, but not settling in there. Shiru, we've got a little bit of distance here, but...
Oh. Out and around to the outside.
Yep, high and right.
So more than half of the final round field took bogey or worse here on the 14th, but this final foursome really playing each other much more than they are playing the field at this point.
Excellent.
So that par for Cadence there, pretty big.
Feeling like a birdie, I'm sure. Well, very well executed. Position can be very, very important with long holes, long technical holes like this. A matter of, 30 feet left or right can mean the difference between an easy putt and a really tough circle 2 putt. Bringing it down, bringing it even here with Jordan and Cadence, both to 11 now. Moving on to the final stretch here, we're at hole 15. Got a par 3 at 315 feet.
I'm chuckling because this is the hole where the cameraman took the shot. He was standing down there by that pond, which of course plays out of bounds. Did not see the disc coming in. He was fine. All fine, in fact. Can see the challenge of this hole is that out of bounds that comes in right behind the basket as Cadence now takes the box.
This is looking a little bit wide here. We'll see if this scoops up.
Oh, wow. Off of an out of bounds stake and stays in.
Impressive. Great lucky throw there. We'll see what she can do with that approach. Morgan getting right up into the green. Shiru taking a nice hyzer here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Excellent.
Bullseye there for Shiru.
Had great angles all the way through. Jordan a little bit low here. We'll see if she can manage to skip up. Got some length left.
Yeah, down there even with the basket, but...
Oh, that had a great line. Don't do that to her.
Sit, sit, sit.
Sometimes that can happen.
Jordan needs this to save par.
I absolutely love that she chose to run that, even given the risks. That's really awesome. Great.
Big par save there from Jordan, knowing everybody else is in tight.
Leaving it out there, running that long birdie and making that comebacker. Very nice. With the previous par, feeling like a birdie, and a great birdie here for Cadence. A great birdie here for Morgan as well. Some well-placed drives and some well-executed putts so far. And Shiru.
The
bag on, tap in. Oh, yeah. I know that feels great, especially as we're, like I said, on this final stretch here.
New leader. Cadence Burge by 1 over Jordan and Morgan Lynds. Shiru not out of the picture quite yet, but just 3 holes remain.
Huge momentum shift as we move on to hole 16. Got a par 3 at 376 feet. Not short of any rolling hills here.
If you look very, very closely there, you can see the white line denoting that the golf fairway is out of bounds. This space between the golf fairway and the cart path there off to the right is inbounds. So a narrow, lengthy hole here, challenging our players as Cadence once again with the honors.
Placement key here. Looks like Cadence airs it out, bringing it a little bit close, but finishes inbounds.
Down in that valley is a very common place to be, leaves you sort of a lengthy jump putt up to the area of the basket.
Morgan, very similar placement. Looks like this hole is, I mean, you know, no short of distance here, but it looks like this hole with how the ground is playing and how these holes are playing, this is definitely looking like it's playing longer than the yardage would suggest. Shiru with a great shot down the fairway.
Jordan also down into the valley.
Yep, funneling right at the bottom here. Quite a challenging approach here.
Yeah, look at that elevation.
Definitely have to give it some power, it looks like, but you don't want to go flying past the basket, as we can see that OB right here.
Beautifully executed.
Great forehand shot, perfect power and distance. Morgan looking to do something very similar. Perfect.
Identical shot there.
I mean, almost looked like an identical disc, yeah. Cadence taking it backhand.
Ooh, thought she was going to short that, but it trundles up there.
Yep, I can see that being the mistake, you know, not wanting to power it too hard and then coming up just short. Shiru with a great drive, pinning it, absolutely. Great couple of holes for Shiru. Cadence putting up first as we round the horn, making her par. Holding on to those pars can be so important to really make those birdies count. Jordan with the par as well, and Morgan tapping in for her par.
A little par frame here.
Try not to hit her head here.
Just incredible. 88 holes complete. The pressure couldn't be greater.
I absolutely agree.
Plastic Addicts is proud to sponsor the coverage of the 2022 PDGA Amateur World Championships. Use code 22AMWorlds to get 10% off store-wide from now until the end of July. Orders over $70 shipped free. Thanks for choosing Plastic Addicts.
Alright, moving on to hole 17. We've got a par 3 at 326 feet. Classic Guardian right up near the green.
First things first, the cart path here on the 17th is inbounds. The ball golf green, as all golf greens have been all day long, is out of bounds. But look at this drop off behind the basket, rolling all the way down the hill, leaving as much as a 200-foot shot coming back if you go long and catch an edge. Cadence first off the tee. Gorgeous ground play. It's an excellent pressure-packed shot right there from Cadence.
Morgan with a forehand.
Uh-oh, comes over on that a little bit. Needs it to settle before the golf green.
Oh, just inside of it. That's tough.
That'll be a penalty stroke there for Morgan.
Shiru airing out a great hyzer here.
Right around the tree you mentioned.
Great finish. I almost wanted to say the final obstacle, but that hill is certainly the final obstacle you have to face on this hole.
Jordan, a little skip off the cart path gives her some extra distance. She'll be behind that tree. The downhill look. Here's Morgan coming off of the penalty stroke.
Be interesting to see if she chooses to run this here or just kind of accepts her fate. Looks like a layup. Oh my goodness. No. Oh my goodness. Unfortunate roll, but not as bad as it could have been, for sure. Little step out forehand here for Jordan. Nice and soft. Great touch.
Well done there. We'll take a par.
A bit of a sigh of relief, I'm sure, as it's underneath the pin. Shiru.
Oh. And now Cadence. Will she run this or will she lay this up? We have our answer.
Mm-hmm. That's a few times now where we've seen her choose to play it safe and not risk, not risk the bird in the hand for the two in the bush there. Oh, gargled for Morgan. That's unfortunate.
So Morgan, after taking the penalty stroke and then that miss, mathematically putting herself just a little bit out of reach, I think, with just one hole to go here.
Yeah, we've got a lot of action happening just in these final 5 or 6 holes here. Jordan tapping in that par as well as Cadence here. Taking her time even for those tap-ins. And a double bogey for Morgan.
So, sort of a two-woman race here coming to the final hole of this championship.
Neck and neck for Jordan and Cadence here. Our final hole. We've got a challenging par 4 at 577 feet to round off this tournament.
Pretty wide open, really, over a pretty substantial valley that we're flying over right now. Don't quite see the topography well from the air, but it is noteworthy. And up here to the basket, that sand trap off to the left is OB. Obviously, the water beyond OB as well, so a little bit of danger coming into the basket.
High fives and fist bumps to conclude.
And Cadence will tee first with a one-stroke lead and 1 hole to play.
Oh, it's almost like I can feel the pressure from here.
No doubt about it. Gets a great skip there. Little bit of ground play. We'll have an open look at the basket. Shiru now one more chance to air one out.
And she definitely does, taking a big hyzer out there. She's got great distance, even without turning over the disc and flexing it. Just the sheer hyzer distance she has is great.
Oh, Jordan catches an early tree branch.
Morgan with a nice, powerful forehand. Just a little bit lower maybe than she wanted, but still getting out there pretty well.
Jordan now well back.
Almost basically a second tee shot here. Playing it a little bit risky.
Good move on the disc there.
Just a little bit low for Morgan and flaring.
Should be safe there.
Mm-hmm.
Cart path area near the basket is safe.
Cadence getting sheared off a little bit to the left there. We'll see what she can do from that distance.
Playing pretty safe, kind of playing match play there with Jordan, so knows what she needs to do.
Yep, she's made smart decisions so far. Not trying to risk anything here. Just hold on to what she has. Jordan airing it out for a great approach shot onto the green.
So now just needing to lay this up.
Cadence executing really well for this final hole, showing some great composure with that lead.
And Cadence knows.
A little bit of a sigh there we could see. She's definitely aware of the position she's at right now. Looks like that might have been a run, but with how risky everything is, came up just short. Shiru with her final birdie of the round. Excellent finish for Shiru.
Yeah, good way to end a championship right there for Shiru Liu out of Houston.
Jordan here with her final putt. Excellent par save.
Nice to see Jordan make that one here.
What a fantastic final 9 for Cadence.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you the FA winner of the 2022 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships, sponsored by Toyota, Miss Cadence Burge. Yeah!
Got some memories, Sai?
Yeah, definitely bringing back some memories, giving her that trophy right at the final hole. Just absolutely incredible to see.
So Cadence, you said it would be a dream come true yesterday if you would win. How do you feel right now?
It's unreal. Coming to this round, I mean, I knew I had a chance, but like my competitors are really good and I was a little nervous, and so I just wasn't sure if I was really going to be able to hold it out. And I know last year I got super nervous during the final round. It didn't play as good as I wanted to, and so I was super scared that was going to happen again. And so it feels so awesome to win right now. Like, I don't even have words right now to describe this, but it's so cool.
So in 2 weeks you're going to be playing for Junior Worlds. How are you feeling about that?
You know, I think this is giving me some extra confidence. I'm hoping we'll have a good battle in that, like here. I'm actually really excited to go out there. Playing Worlds is just such a fun experience, meeting new people, and I think this is really giving me the extra boost of confidence I need going into Junior Worlds.
And I think I overheard your dad saying the other day that you're 15 years old. So how long have you been playing? Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I am 15. I played my first tournament when I was 8 years old, although I've been playing a little bit longer than that. I've kind of been throwing discs since I was like kind of a toddler-ish, but not really playing. And I played for a couple years when I was 8 and then took a break. And then I came back one day, and when I was like 11, maybe 10, and it's just kind of been like nonstop since then, like 5 times a week, nonstop. I'm just kind of obsessed with the sport now.
Anything you'd want to add?
Thank all my sponsors, Discmania, Nashville Disc Golf Store, End Zone Quick Sticks. They all supported me. And of course, my family, my dad, my grandparents, they're like the whole reason I'm here and the reason I'm playing this sport, and I'm really glad that they support me in this. And everyone like back home who has been messaging me all week, wishing me good luck and like believing in me, it really has motivated me. And I think it is the reason that I'm standing here right now.
Awesome. Well, congratulations and good luck in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
You love to hear that side, Cadence, with lots and lots of thank yous to all those that support her and cheer her on. There you can see a one-stroke victory. Jordan Lynds a solid second.
Absolutely great play on this final round, just to see her executing some safe shots, not taking any unnecessary risks. Congratulations to Cadence here. Really great play and such a wonderful showing. So happy to see it.
And congrats, of course, to Morgan Lynds as well as Shiru for making the final card here at a major. That is a big deal. And
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure watching them compete here in Southern Indiana. Thanks for joining us here during the 2022 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships.